Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. My name is Draygone the Well and Fuzzbottom Jr. and these are some of my patrons. Snow Kieran, Hideru, Theo Vellum, and a special thanks to my special sponsor, Lit Dragon. When we last left off, we defeated the Leviathan and acquired a new and faster boat. And we're going to be using that boat today to do some exploring around the world again, because we're going to be looking for some very special equipment. More on that on a bit. Also, there were some other things that happened after I defeated the Leviathan, but they're not really important for this episode. Because in this episode, we're going to be going to a bonus dungeon that is only available if you play on the normal or hard difficulties. Before we get to that, though, I forgot a yam. There's a yam somewhere around here. In fact, it is the last yam in the game. It is somewhere off to the west, I am told. Also, on my way to the boat, I'm going to have to remember to head back in town to get some money. Oh, there it is. Because, well, let's find out what this yam is first. And then I'll explain. Let's see, it's the chai... Okay then. 50 out of 50 yams found. Holy cow, what a feat. You found all 50 yams. You know what that means? You are really optimistic. If you thought you get something more than a few new dialogue boxes, you are wrong. You just got 50 power-ups. Enjoy it. Bask in it. And crush all enemies like they were paper. This ends the unknown rant. And congrats! Okay. Cool. So, my stats are all buffed up now. Hopefully that'll be helpful in the optional dungeon, because it is supposedly going to be really tough. Now then, what I was getting ready to say is that in between episodes, I did a whole lot of grinding for money. I now have around 7,000 wind shell, so that I can buy some elemental equipment that just appeared. Yes, the way it works is in various dungeons where I previously fought bosses, there's now going to be this guy who sells elemental equipment. I'm not going to be going after all the elemental equipment because, as it turns out, well, not all of the elemental equipment actually works properly. Yeah, that's kind of an issue. And it's an issue that Sunstorm is aware of. In fact, the version that you can download right now, the elemental equipment has been fixed. Unfortunately, what I'm playing right now, only a couple of the elemental equipment is working. And unfortunately, when it comes to RPG Maker 2, you can't really patch the game with a fix without having to start the game completely over. It is unfortunate because pretty much every other RPG Maker allows you to patch the game in some way. So what do I want? I'm going to want to open the guide. That's what I'm going to want. Okay, so it seems that I'm going to want to go ahead and start out with 2,000 wind shell for the time being. Hopefully I don't lose it on the way to the first elemental equipment. By the way, in regards to the whole grinding situation, at this point in the game I'm kinda tired of it. I mean, grinding generally is not fun. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have had to grind nearly as much had I not been buying an assortment of equipment in every town. Because, you know, like how this game has the different weapons and certain enemies are weak against certain weapons sometimes, it was to a point where I would try to buy... Oops. It was to the point that I would try to buy most, if not all, the different equipment in each town. And that costs a lot of money. I feel like it would have been better had I only just bought one piece of weaponry in each town. What are those things? I don't remember finding those things. Or are these from another area? Because we're suddenly fighting ostriches. I remember fighting the ostriches. It's a good thing I'm a defender. I suck at not getting hit. They give good money. But then again, it was a full group. Speaking of money, I suppose another option would have been to just go for the rogue the entire game, because the rogue gets more money from... Okay, that load took a while. The rogue gets more money from battles and banks and treasure chests. That would have allowed me to not have to grind for money. So, that is my personal recommendation if you play this game. Don't worry about buying an assortment of equipment. Just go with whatever you feel is going to be the most useful. Because otherwise, you're going to be doing some grinding. And that just ain't fun. Now, in regards to the locations of these elemental weapons, I mentioned this last time. They are being sold by somebody named Maker Brave. And in each dungeon, he is selling one of these elemental equipments. Which means gonna have to travel to most of the previous locations in which I have fought boss battles. Oh, and speaking of which, this is probably him. And sure enough, this is where I fought a boss. So you actually have to go all the way to where you fought the boss to find this guy. That's not a problem here, but that basically means, like, to get the weapon from the forest, gonna have to go through the entire forest. That'll suck. Well, not like I'm gonna really do that. In the forest is the arrow spear. It's a wind spear, but that's one of those weapons that you can't really... Or that's one of the elemental weapons that doesn't work properly. However, in this place, we're gonna get a weapon that does work properly. Yellow, Mage Master. In my possession is a sword made to ice any beverage. That would be an interesting way to cool a drink. And such special equipment can be yours for just 2,000 windshell. You want? Sure. Okay, Brave buys for you, kid. Come see Brave buy in other places if you want his Gobin weapons. Gobin? I mean, I almost assume you meant goblin, but I don't know why it would be goblin. And come see Brave Tower, neighbor Paragon. Brave tries his Gobin to entertain heroes. Is Gobin just a cool phrase that I can't change? I poke it for your world map. Must visit. So, with that, we now have the Shell Sword, which increases the power of my sword, or rather, it's a stronger sword than what I have now, so that's nice. Plus, it has the bonus of causing ice damage. I might want to consider keeping my other weapons, though, considering there are enemies who are strong against ice. And heck, there's even one or two enemies that just absorb damage from ice. For now, though, what is the comparison of stats? Luck up 11, luck up 5, defense up 5. Well, lower luck, but that's okay considering the boost to defense. I can go ahead and equip it for now. For how long, I'm not sure, because the enemies in this place are those enemies that you don't really want to be using ice on. For example, well, not so much these guys. Actually, I forget which ones have weaknesses to ice and strengths and that sort of thing. Okay, so ice is fine against these guys. It's the penguins. Oh, that's right, the gunks absorb wind. Well, it's a good thing I'm not getting a wind weapon then. So the penguin is strong against ice, which means my weapon will be weaker against the penguin, as I will demonstrate as soon as I get rid of the surrounding enemies. Yep, definitely weaker. Now, in regards to that brave tower that we just were told about, apparently it's a tower that I completely missed the last time I was exploring the world, because the guide didn't really point me towards it, so it was pretty easy to miss. It's just as well, though. Apparently you can't even enter the place unless you've purchased at least one of the elemental equipment. Speaking of which, we're out to buy another one, and the next one is at Polly, which is not a dungeon, but ooh, this will be really strong against the turtle. In theory, but I can't really tell because I was on top of the slime was on top of him. Or was the turtle weak against ice? No, turtle was weak against this. You know what? I'm not good at keeping track of elemental weaknesses. It'll just be easy to figure out if something's strong against this weapon if it's like suddenly causing less than 100 damage. Anyway, what I was saying was that Brave Tower can't be... No, I already said that part. Polly. We're going to Polly. As long as I'm out at sea, I should definitely just keep my regular sword on because the fish out on sea are strong against ice. So, Polly. It is not a dungeon, but we did fight a boss there, which is why we're going to be able to find our next piece of equipment there. And pretty much our only other piece of elemental equipment. That said, I do have some other cash on hand, and that other cash is going to be for the one weapon in Paragon. The weapons in Paragon cost 3,000 wind shell each, and I am not going to be buying all of those. Like I said, I'm tired of grinding at this point in the game, but I will at the very least buy one piece of equipment in Paragon for the sake of having something really nice for when my ice sword is not going to be terribly useful. And I made a wrong turn. But as long as we're here, what does this temple look like now that it's all crumbled apart? Oh, it looks like crumbled apart. So we don't actually have to travel all the way through this dungeon in order to get the sword from this guy. Not sword. What does he have? He has the quick axe. Nah, it's not really something I'm interested in. Okay, I just withdrew another 2,000 wind shell from the bank, and here is the maker guy. It is interesting that he set up shop in the castle. I feel like that should be illegal. Let's get a good look at your face when I shop from you. In my possession is a shield made of cotton and sunshine. It doesn't sound like a very good shield. And such special equipment can be yours for just 2,000 wind shell. You want? Sure. Okay, brave buys for you, kid. Come see brave buy in other places. So now we got the cloud shield. So let's see here. Well, defense goes down by 5 points. That's kind of sucky. Intelligence goes up by 11. Dexterity goes down by 5, so enemies are actually causing less damage that way. Most importantly is the 33% block rate. That is amazing. You can see why I am going to be equipping this shield, despite the fact that it has 26 less points of armor than my current shield. And you know, technically it's not an elemental shield, so I don't have to worry about, like, if an enemy uses a certain attack that the shield is weak against. So this is definitely a replacement for my shield that I currently had. I'll go ahead and sell it. It's probably not going to be worth a whole lot of money, but hey, money's money. You are not a shopkeeper of the sort that I want. You are the shopkeeper of the sort that I want. So go ahead and have my diamond shield. You would think that if it's made out of diamond, it'd be pretty dang good in regards to money that I will get. But, it's only worth 435 wind shell. I guess diamonds are not that rare in this world. So as long as I'm in this battle, I want to bring up something that's kind of been an issue for me. And that is the situation with running from battle. There have been times where I would do something like this, trying to avoid an attack, but instead I reach the barrier where you flee the battle, and it's like, no, I was almost done with this fight. This has happened on multiple occasions. It would be nice if, when you tried running, it would actually ask you if you were sure you wanted to run. Especially in the case of a boss fight. Like, can you imagine getting partway through a boss fight or almost being done with a boss fight, but while you're dodging attacks, you accidentally flee from battle? By the way, despite the fact that I am almost at the end of the game, I'm still noticing things that I hadn't noticed before. For example, the walking animations of these monsters. You'll notice that this guy is totally walking. Kind of walking in place when he's not moving towards me, but still, he's got that walking animation going on. But watch his animation when I hit him. Did you see that? He stopped walking. Apparently, when you stun enemies, their walking animation stops and they just stand there, as a way to show you that they are currently stunned by your attacks. That's actually a nice touch. I mean, it's a touch that I didn't notice until I'm almost done with the game, but still, a nice touch. So here's this place, but we're going to ignore it for the moment because we're heading to Paragon for one of the strongest weapons in the game. Not elemental, but still pretty strong. Okay, so these Egyptian looking guys are from out here. Wow, look at all that guarding that just happened. This shield is very nice to have. Ooh. Apparently those Egyptian guys have a magic attack that's kind of dangerous. Actually kind of reminded me of some of the attacks that the bosses have. Also, I thought that was kind of interesting how that ostrich charged by me while I was slashing at it, and I, like, practically cut its head off while it was passing me, and boom, it was dead after it was done passing me. That is what I imagine happened there. So here we are in Paragon. The first thing I need to do is get some money out of the bank. That was not the bank. Okay, so I now have enough money here to buy whatever weapon I want. First off, there's no new equipment here. There's no super strong piece of armor or shield here, so in regards to armor, I'm good. It's just a matter of what I want to do with weapons. So we got the final sword, the Fable Axe, the Miracle Staff, and the Dream Spear. Well, first off, I can't even equip the Dream Spear as a Guardian, which means it's just as well that I'm not going back to the forest for the Wind Spear. So, final sword, Fable Axe, or Miracle Staff? Well, it's interesting to note that the final sword is stronger than my elemental sword, which I guess makes sense, it's more expensive, but at the same time, that basically means that the final sword is always going to be stronger than the elemental sword, except for when an enemy is weak against that sword. Almost makes it pointless to have the elemental sword. So for the sake of variety, I'm gonna go with either the axe or the staff. I think axes increase dexterity, which is bad, so maybe go with the miracle staff. The miracle staff actually is as strong as my elemental sword, so yeah, maybe I'll go with that. In fact, I think I will. And I'll just go ahead and sell my other stuff. Well, since I got a miracle staff, I guess that means I don't need the quartz sword. So I'll sell the sword and the staff there. And that leaves me with a whole lot of leftover money. And I'm not going to be buying any more equipment in the game, so all this money can pretty much go towards healing items. Well, first things first, I know that the fish is an item that heals both HP and MP, so I'm definitely going to buy, let's see here. Well, let's go with 7. You can't carry so many items at once. This shop system. Just put it in my bag, why don't you? Fine, I'll just buy enough for my bag, and then I'll do the shuffling to my... Nope. I'm trying to speed up the text here because I'm impatient about having to do this mess. Really? All of a sudden now they're actually selling to my bag. What is up with that? And now I can't. Now it's actually trying to sell to my person again. Or is it? What is the situation? Oh, now they what? What? Okay, so here we are at Brave Tower. By the way, I decided to change my outfit again for the sake of variety. Went with the basic white outfit. Would be interesting, by the way, if your different outfits had different effects. Like if the white outfit increased the power of the light spell. Or, you know, what would be more interesting is if wearing the white outfit while out in the snowy region provided camouflage and enemies had a harder time hitting me. Just a random thought, not really a suggestion, more like, boy, that would be interesting. Speaking of interesting, boy, this is an interesting song. Good Gobin, hero, you're here. This bracket, Brave's basement. Brave faced Other Gobins before. What did I just say? Did I say Other? I hope I didn't say Other. That would be stupid. Sadly, he goes too far for them. What, Gobins? Now Brave has brackets. If you win Brave's gauntlet, he'll face Boy Hero 2. Maybe Boy get prize if he beats Brave. Strongest Gobin. Boy, ready for my gauntlet? Yeah, as ready as I'm gonna be. Kersplash! The next floors have monster statue and special box. No babies allowed there, no one flees. Peak monster statue to start new bracket. Gaze special box to go back to this floor, but bad Gobin, that means you quit. Okay, good to know, don't check the box. Good luck. That would be that box over there. So, let's see how this works then. Brave Tower Gauntlet. Battle 1. Blob Bros. Start the next round. Begin round. Let the next battle begin! Okay, so slimes of various sorts, and I'm already taking damage. So, some of these colors are not colors I've seen before. Ooh, what is up with that? I'll tell you what is up with that. I'm gonna want to switch that Miracle Staff. Also gonna want to go ahead and use a spell here, so that I can find out what is up with these guys. Kinda wish I had done that with when the fight started. Oh, they're actually weak against staff. That's convenient. Ice apparently heals them? But it wasn't healing them. They were blocking it. I guess they can't absorb energy from an ice weapon. They just block it. Or they could also have really high defense. Oop. Wrong way. Whatever works, though. Okay, note to self. When I'm fighting these other monsters, use that spell. Battle 2, Necromancy. Alright. Use that scan. Is what I was trying to say there. Because I'm pretty sure we're fighting some monsters we haven't seen before. For example, this guy. Weak against light and wind, strong against fire and ice. So once again, the fancy pants sword that I just got is not going to be useful. Meanwhile, we also got some low-level monsters we encountered a while ago. Except for that guy. Okay, so what I'm gonna want to do first is possibly get rid of... Whoa, whoa, what happened there? Did I just freeze for some reason? Okay, that takes care of that situation. Now I can go ahead and equip my sword. And of course we got this enemy. And I remember my strategy for him. Goes down in a lot less hits than he used to, tell you what. Battle 3, Dolphin Jaws. Yeah, this battle looks familiar. Oop, hold on a sec. Get my staff back on, so that I can kill the fish with it. Hopefully. Hold on a sec. I need to kind of... Screw you. Now back to my sword. Although I feel like it's not going to cause much damage against the penguin. Nope. Back to the staff. This elemental weapon might become more trouble than it's worth. Okay, I need to fight a little smarter here. Have some fireball. Well, so far this isn't too difficult. Battle 4. Not dragons! If we must. Okay, so the green ones we fought before were in the forest. They got some strong attacks too. I imagine that the red ones are going to be even more painful. Oh. Okay, so in this situation, elemental anything is not going to be that great. Except light and dark magic. And same way with the salamanders. So, I'm gonna be using some light magic here and there. In that case, let's start by using some of that light magic. Oh boy, those guys are fast. This might be trouble. Ooh. They didn't get stunned for very long, did they? Need to be a little closer for that to work. And they were attacking, so it didn't do any good for me. And now I'm low on MP. I imagine that's a wide attack that I don't want to get in the way of. Dodge or guard. Didn't guard. Ugh. This is getting tougher now. I'm pretty sure, by the way, that some of these new enemies I'm gonna wind up fighting in the final dungeon. Won't that be fun? So Battle 5 is getting schooled. Well, can't be a school of fish because we already had the water battle. And interesting things we got going on here. So we got the knight, weak against ice, okay, cool. Now I can use my new sword. Got the mage, who has an interesting face, gotta say. Ogre has no weaknesses. Alright. So, ice sword it is. Oh boy, look at the levels of some of these. I mean, ogres are level 9, but level 23 for those knights? What level am I again? 22? Yeah, gotta be careful here. Well, at least I know I can go ahead and use my shell sword. Probably should have paid a little more closer attention to what their weaknesses and stuff were. I was paying a little bit more attention to stuff like, well, whether my sword would be useful or not. Oh well, that's need to be closer for that spell. At the very least, that battle was easier than the previous one. What is my hunger situation? Where's my hunger situation? Oh, that's right, it's in about me. Well, I'm probably really hungry because I haven't done any eating of items for a while. Oh, so this is where you find out where you need a certain amount of experience for a level up. Because after this next phase, the guide says that it's recommended that I go a level up before going on to the boss here. Although, how am I supposed to do that? Because the only way I can see to go fight other battles is to leave the place and give up and then have to do this entire thing all over again. Well, anyway, for the time being, I think I'm gonna go ahead and drink some water. Twice. I'm thirsty. Battle 6, Tryhards. Okay, so these are all the strongest monsters in the game. That's not good. I'm gonna scan them again just to see for sure what I'm dealing with here. I mean, those guys are weak against ice. Also dark, but I'm not sure that dark would be very easy for me to really, aim. And of course the slimes are strong against ice. Absorb it even. Weak against the staff though, so that's what I want to use. Those guys are also strong against ice. Fire would work against those guys. Well as earth. Never really took much advantage of my earth spells, did I? And light and fire. Light and dark. This is just really hard to keep track of. Well, the first thing I'm gonna want to do, I would try out an earth spell since there is an enemy here weak against earth, but I can't equip it in the middle of battle. Here, have some light. It is interesting that we're encountering enemies that are dodgy. Here, have all of you. Whoa, which one of you is doing that? Don't do that. You, huh? Yeah, you know what? Have a fireball. And that leaves that guy. Strong against all elements. I am taking a little damage here, but I don't think he's super strong. Wait for him to try to attack me and dodge and get in there. Not in there. Oh good, that was just enough for the level up. Which means I'm actually going to be automatically healed just in time for this next battle. Which happens to be the boss. Hi! Okay, so hopefully I am prepared for this fight because supposedly this is going to be the toughest battle in the game. We're talking about super boss status here. Boy, you're strong, Gobin. Brave happy he tests for you, but Brave is always ready to throw down. Warm-ups is only for bad Gobins. But let's see if you're brave like Brave is. Let's get a little bit of scan going, by the way. Should have did that first. Strong against weapon. And this guy absolutely has 10,000 HP. Intelligence 110 plus question mark. That's not good. So strong against weapon. Ooh, good thing I guarded that. Well, yep, he's definitely strong against the weapon, so also gonna want to use some magic here and there, which is equally as strong. Ooh, good critical hits there. And some more magic. Oop! And that missed. Darn. I was on a roll too. Alright, now we're doing this again. Kind of keep an eye on his animation, because if he starts walking in place, that means he's ready to attack again. And there's not much time between his walking animation and also his attack. Well, I'm halfway through this fight. Ooh, look at that damage counter go. And I made it all the way to the max damage boost without having to worry about glitching a turtle. Uh-oh. Oh. This is where things get difficult. I like how some of the bosses in this game get more difficult as the fight progresses. Just when you think that you got it easy, you don't. Oh gosh, what is that? And when does this attack stop? Oh, it stopped. Unfortunately for him, I already depleted a good amount of his health, so he's almost dead. There we go. And to think, Sunstorm, you were worried. I've got a good hang of this battle system. I mean, I suck at dodging attacks, but aside from that, I definitely know what I'm doing at this point. For the most part. That said, it's probably definitely a good thing that I had that shield. Boy, yo! That was tons of fun. Brave tries his best, but good Gobin boy strong. Maybe heroic? Hopeness? Brave strong like boy too. This prize for Gobin that beats brave. And we got 5,000 wind shell. That's gonna be a lot of healing items. Actually, with all that money, I could go back to Paragon and buy some other weapons, but I think I'm going to stick with the weapons that I have now. Yeah, Brave is famous weapons guy. Of course he's rich. If boy wants, he can train with Brave again. Battle's fun. Strong rivals better. Boy, ready for my gauntlet? Nope. Many fails and stuff deal. So that was interesting. I suppose for any of you watching, you might be a little disappointed that I managed to get through that fight so easily. You know, that castle's an interesting color. A gray roof with a green stone underneath. That's something you can do in RPG Maker 2. You can recolor objects. To an extent. Character models are easier to recolor because you have full control over the color. but in the regards to objects like that tower, you're adding color to the color that's already there. Anyway, yeah, maybe that fight wasn't as difficult as it could have been. Like I said, I definitely have a hang of this battle system. Ah, how convenient. We got a boat dock right down here south of Polly. I'm going to go ahead and head into Polly to save. Now, in regards to next time, oh boy, things are about to get exciting. For you see, we're just about done here. We need to first head over to our hero's hometown for some story time, and then from there, it's off to the final dungeon. With that said, down at the bottom of the screen is all of my patrons. And next time, well, I don't know if we'll be fighting the final battle next time, but, well, it depends on, like, how much story stuff happens back in our hero's hometown. Potentially we'll be fighting the final boss next time, but we might only, like, get to the final boss. We'll see what happens. Definitely an exciting time now, but though, almost done with this game. It's interesting that I'm finishing multiple games all at the same time. Just recently I finished the Final Fantasy V 4-Job Fiesta, and I'm also 2 episodes away from finishing Bunny Link, and now I'm 1 or 2 episodes away from finishing this Let's Play. And then, after all of these Let's Plays are done, well, anyway, I'll see you in the next one.